Welcome back to Salt, Pepper, Ketchup,
the podcast
that's about healing, that's culturally relevant, powerful, and authentic. I'm going to get that together one day. I'm going to say it the way it's written.
You said culturally relevant, powerful, and authentic.
Right. I'm Zoha.
And I'm Angel.
And what are we talking about today, friend?
Today we are talking about gratitude.
All right. What's that?
I feel like I'm about to sound like I've sounded in previous shows, but gratitude to me is being in a posture of thankfulness with the universe. Like really taking a pause and being in thanks to what you have, what's been given to you, what might be on the way, the experiences that you've had in the past. You know, just really being thankful in general for everything that you have, both materialistic things, non-materialistic things, the things that are non-tangible, that aren't physical, love, you know, peace. All of those things I think fall into the category of things I get to be thankful for. And so gratitude for me is a very like holistic idea.
Right.
And being thankful for many different things in life.
Right. So I'm piggybacking because that's mostly how I feel about it. And I don't know if I have any caveats to add to that today. I think you like. I know, right? Like usually I have something, right? I feel it kind of like blank. Like, she just took all the points. Like, let me dig in there. No, seriously, same thing Angel said, and just finding grace. That's the other thing I'll add. Okay, like I often find that gratitude for me is reaching out for grace in the moment, like just being graceful to myself. Like, you know what, you here. Be grateful that you're in this moment, even if it's not like panning out the way that I want it to be or whatever. But just having grace for myself is a form of gratitude for me, I believe.
Grace for yourself as a form of gratitude. I like that. The table's rocking a little bit.
Okay, I'll get my own.
Sorry. So when you think of gratitude, like what does it look like in practice? Like we kind of talked about how we define it personally, but what does that look like?
I would say that it looks like an active, like prayer, meditation type thing. Like you're waking up in the morning, like let me pray, thank God for this day, thank my ancestors, whoever you know are grateful to, you know, for helping you through the process, as well as just taking care of yourself is a form of gratitude, like taking care of your body and you know, being like when I hit my yoga mat, I'm always telling my body, thank you so much, because it doesn't have to show up for me in that way, you know what I mean? I'm getting older. And I just made a drop it low two times too many back in the day. So the fact that I can still drop it low on the yoga mat at 44 is pretty magnificent.
Right.
So I try to be thankful to my body and have gratitude for what it still allows me to do. Also finding gratitude in the lessons of life, and especially with my children who like literally teach me every day how to have more grace with myself, because they, you know, are really like learning life. And watching them do it and watching their frustrations, watching their growths and challenges, you know what I mean, teaches me like, whoa, how they, you know, bounce back from certain things. And like, I'm like, whoa, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it gives me, you know, a reference point for how I'm showing up in their life. You know what I mean? Because they're watching me. You know what I mean? So it's just it's a reminder. All of it's like a what do you call that? A cyclical reminder of how you enter the space is what you're teaching other people. So
right. Children are great mirrors.
Oh my God,
if
girl.
you ever want to know how you're doing in life, hang out with your kids. They'll let you know.
Right. They definitely show you all your beautiful and not so masterful aspects.
Mm-hmm. Thank God for the little babies.
What is your gratitude? What does gratitude look like in your daily?
It's often a lot of thank yous. I find myself regularly throughout my days thanking the universe, thanking God. I thank my ancestors. I'm always constantly saying thank you, even for little things, right? Like if I had a meeting got moved off of my schedule, thank you. I appreciate that 1 hour I got back there. Or if there was something that I had a lot of anxiety about and I wasn't looking forward to doing, and for whatever reason the situation was rescheduled, or I didn't have to go after all, I say thanks for those kinds of things. I also say thanks for the big stuff, right? Like we often very familiar. You get a promotion, you get a raise, you meet somebody you might be excited about, so you're all thank you about that. But I think it's important that we give thanks for the little things too, because all of those things matter when it comes to like the grand scheme of life, and remembering that being in that posture of thanks. It is really a way, right? It's a way of living where you approach life and you're open to everything that's going to happen. Right. The good, the bad, or the indifferent.
Right, the humility.
Yes. There's like a humility that's there in the experience when you're walking with gratitude. Right. The other thing that for me is true when it comes to gratitude is I find myself more peaceful when I am in that posture of thanks.
Right. So there's less stress, less anxiety, less worry, less concern about how things are going to turn out, because you're open to whatever shows up as a possibility, right? And it allows you to have that, like I said earlier, that grace and that humility, right, to show up in whatever circumstances with your best foot forward. I totally get that.
And back to I think a few shows ago, 1 or 2 shows back, we talked about being a co-creator, with the universe, right? And so, and I feel like gratitude makes us co-creators in a lot of ways as well. The universe can hear and understand that vibration of gratitude.
I think so too.
And when we are grateful and thankful for what we have, no matter what that is, then the universe responds in a way that's giving us more of what we need, or clearing off that we don't need. Right.
It opens up that tunnel or that pathway to create a more abundance. Yes. Right. So like when you stand as a source of gratitude, then the universe responds as grateful for you and opens up your path more. I believe that. Because I think that most times we are hyper-focused on having things turn out the way that we think they should turn out, because we have expectations and plans and all that great stuff that, we have as humans, because that's how we are. We're always thinking 25 steps ahead of the time. And I think gratitude doesn't force you, but it allows you to focus intentionally in the moment versus trying to skip ahead to see what's going to happen. And when you're not hyper-focused on the present, all that anxiety, that worry, that doubt, all that stuff tends to alleviate itself.
Yeah, I wish there was I was just going to say, I wish there was a gratitude pill you could take.
There is one. It's called drugs. It's called drink.
No, those things are...
Drink, gratitude, drink. Yo, we need to market that, for real.
I don't think we should market gratitude. I really don't. Because the truth of the matter is, if you do it too much, you're no longer thankful.
There's plenty of people who take drinks for gratitude every day. Thank you. We behind.
No, I've been down that road. I know that road.
Ciroc already got that.
Yeah, I've been down that road. I'm good on that. I'm straight.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like pill.
Yeah, just because sometimes we're talking about all this great stuff and being in a space of thankfulness and mindfulness, but it's not always easy.
You're right.
Right? To feel like, oh, okay, I'm thankful for this, what I perceive to be a negative situation happening, right? So,
how do you get there?
Yep, I was just gonna say, how do we get to a space of gratitude, especially in some of those more challenging life experiences? Like, how are you grateful when life is giving you a hard way?
Yeah. Okay, so I have with a Taurus rising, so that makes me like super stubborn. So like we just discussed before this podcast, and I bought 3 tripods, the same, and they're all broken.
Right.
Because that's the kind of
stubborn.
nigga I am.
Keep buying the
Right.
same
You know what
product.
I mean? I'm faithful to my mistakes. So how it came up for me was that after constantly running into walls, I was like, shit, you know what I mean? I know what this is. I get to approach this differently because clearly the way I'm doing it is not working for me. Like, it wasn't even working for me. Like, it was temporarily working. Like, those tripods temporarily work for me, right? But then they eventually break because it's a shitty product. But so in my life, I was like going down paths and finding myself like bulldozing my way through shit, right? And yeah, it would make headway temporarily, but I will always end up at the same place of having to start over, or having to figure out how to get around this obstacle, XYZ. And instead of just seeing something as an obstacle anymore, seeing it as an opportunity. I had to change my framework.
Say what, girl?
I had to see it as an opportunity.
Say it one more time.
I had to see it as an opportunity. So, because it's the framework, right? It's our mind that is running the show most of the time, right? And if you always think your life is challenging, you're going to constantly run into challenges.
Right.
So I had to adjust the way that I saw life, right? Because I didn't want to see life as challenging. I didn't want to have bad experiences. I didn't want to be fucked up all the time. And so I had to release those attachments. Mm. You know what I mean? That I was so attached to that. So once I began to release that attachment to having things being difficult, because they're difficult, okay, so now I'm at this impasse. Do I need to even deal with this? Or do I need to find another way to experience life? And that's where we, look around at how other people, and that's what I did. I literally looked around at other people, and I was like, why are they not having these challenges that I'm having?
Right. Oh, girl, stop.
You know what I mean?
That hit me in my gut.
Like follow this motherfucker.
Like wonder why your shit is looking the way
like Pac-Man just keep going through,
And everybody else's shit looks fine.
Right.
Well,
right.
I think you hit a really key point about life and what it releasing attachments in life, right? And if you release attachments, then your hands are open to receive. And when we're talking about gratitude,
that sounds good. Do that again. If you do what?
If you let go of your attachments, then your hands are open, ready to receive.
Woo! Is it Sunday?
It is Sunday.
Hallelujah! Okay, then go ahead.
But the point is that if we just allow ourselves to release some of these attachments that you're referencing, then we can receive more back from the universe.
Right.
And that the universe is giving us because we're thankful for what we have. When I was a kid, always have to say grace.
Why are you doing this to me? I am not even Christian, but I'm feeling very in my.
It be that way sometimes. Brown, salt, pepper, ketchup. It be that way.
Okay, all right. I had to get that out, honey.
No worries. So, as children, we are taught to say grace. I was taught to say grace.
God is great and God is good, and we thank Him for our food.
Bow our heads.
Bow our heads, we all are fed. bread. Thank you for this daily bread. That's right.
So it was always about being thankful for what you had. And saying grace taught me that. Just as a little kid. And nobody came and said like why we were saying grace.
Right.
But it taught me that you say thank you for the things that you have and the things that the universe and God has given you. And so if you're focusing on attachments,
right,
you can't be focused on your gifts.
And attachments are what, like expectations?
Expectations, they're fears, they're like our self-doubt.
Woo!
Yeah, all of that is in those attachments to things. Let me do this so I can be perceived this way. Let me do that or say this so that I can be read this way or loved or supported. Right? And so we turn these attachments into our drivers in life. Right?
Woo.
So
yes, ma'am.
So we're no longer being driven by our spirit self or our highest self or our heart or even our mind. We're being driven by our fears and our darkest aspects of who we are.
Right.
They aren't really real, right? They're just perceptions.
Right.
So yeah, thank you for that. That was dope with those attachments.
Yeah, that was good, man. I feel like we went in just now.
I know, and ooh.
What? You a motherfucking lie.
The card is full. I don't even know what it is.
You a motherfucker.